This episode had a little bit of everything. Some action, some character development, great story progression. Overall, a very, very cool episode. Akame ga Kill, Episode 3. Kill your cares. Man, I just can't stop watching. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and action-packed, thrilling tale that is Akame ga Kill. Now, our last episode, of course, really kind of set things up a little bit. We were introduced to all the different members of Night Raid and just kind of their overarching purpose and the whole reason for them being around. And then actually wound up getting to see at the end of it some real nice action. And again, the animation just beautiful on this, but Tatsumi wound up kind of proving himself by assassinating this soldier, this guy named Ogre, and you know, and really just kind of again being able to sort of bring himself in with the folds, and in, trying to work his way up the ranks, of course, of Night Raid. So that's how the episode left off. And if you remember as well, he was assigned to work with Mine, the pink-haired girl. Anyway, at the beginning of this episode, though, I thought it was really cool. Just within the first couple minutes before the opening credits even roll, Night Raid's base is under attack by, they assume maybe some assassins from another village or something like that, right? And it really, what this was a showcase to kind of show you some of the different team members and just their movesets and just how deadly this team is, right? And it also served to show Tatsumi what he had actually gotten himself into, you know what I mean? This is like equivalent to him going and, like being asked to join the Avengers, or the X-Men or something along those lines. This is an elite team. We see Akame, and she is just insane. I mean, one swipe, one slash with the sword, one kill, one slash, and whoever she winds up hitting dies, her target. Some of the other ones of note that I thought were cool was Mine and this sniper rifle that she has. It's called an Imperial Arm. It's called Pumpkin, and apparently the more danger that she's in, the more powerful the burst is or whatever from this thing. But this thing goes and fires out this ray of like energy and just disintegrates this dude, And then also the guy with the pompadour, Bulat. Bulat goes in, he has an Imperial Arm as well, and what it is, it's actually this armor that he has on, and I mean, he just destroys dudes left and right. What I liked is, and they explain it a little bit later on in the actual episode, but I'll touch on it now while I remember, is these Imperial Arms are these ancient weapons, and that's really all we know about them so far. But that's something that certainly kind of piqued my curiosity and my interest and reminded me of something along the veins of like from a Final Fantasy game or something like that. So very, very cool stuff. But again, really just showcasing the moves there at the beginning, to kind of show what was going on with everybody, and again, just to show them and get some action, some blood and guts and gore in there, So anyway, we wind up seeing, because we know that, of course, Tatsumi has been assigned to be Mine's sort of, shadow or underling or what have you. And there's this is where the comedy shines through, which I think is great. We got a little bit of the gratuitous TNA in the last couple of episodes, and a little bit in the way of comedy, but most of it was the story, the action. In this one, we really kind of see, I was smiling and just laughing out loud, several times while watching the episode. And one of the first times is just Tatsumi gets told to go wake up Mine, and he just goes and opens up her door, and she's changing. She's half naked, She ends up taking her sniper rifle and blowing a hole, trying to shoot him, and then goes and says, why was he so rude to dodge her shot? But tries to kill him, blows a hole out the side of this castle-like base that they live in, and you wind up just seeing some things, this kind of friendly sort of love-hate, bickering, bantering back and forth between these two during the course of the episode. In the middle, it slows down a little bit. They go into town, and we see that they are they're two of the members of Night Raid that have not yet had posters up and don't have wanted posters with rewards, so they're not as easily recognizable. And really all she wanted to do was go in the city to shop and have Tatsumi go and be her underling and her subordinate and carry her shit around for her, which he was none too happy about. They also go and they really kind of try to throw this at you. I've seen subtle hints of characters and their sexuality in other animes and things like that. In this one, they come right out and tell you in the second episode that Bulat, he's gay, right? And but then they go and they just go over the top with it, because he's like constantly he asked Tatsumi to call him bro or handsome or something like that, you know? And then Tatsumi, whenever he goes and thinks about or looks at him, he's like, why am I thinking about him? So they try to throw it in and make it a little bit humorous. Sometimes I think it's a little bit overdone, it's a little bit much. But ultimately, I think it's better that they actually came out and said that, as opposed to having these sort of feminine-like characters, male characters that are very feminine, and you're really just kind of not sure. You know, you're like, is this guy just a weirdo? Is it just a little different? Is that just sort of the way in the culture? I don't know. But anyway, we wind up seeing too that Bulat was he looked completely different. Didn't have the pompadour or anything like that. It was more clean cut, and really looked more of like a Jaime Lannister with the shorter haircut from season 4 of Game of Thrones on his wanted poster, because that's before he went and he was actually one of the Imperial Guards, and he turned over to the side of good, or what we're being told is the side of good. We also see a brief shot of the Prime Minister, and of course he's just sort of being a puppeteer and somehow or another controlling the actual emperor or king or whatever, which is this younger child, this youth, and just kind of telling him what to do. And he said, oh, it's like the kid comes up with the idea, but it's like it was programmed into him or something. It reminds me very much of, if you ever saw the Lord of the Rings trilogy, in the second movie, there was that, what was that guy's name? Wormtongue. And he was going and just kind of over the years had been like just sort of whispering and like using his grip, his hold, his whatever on the king, and the king had become just complacent and just old and just sort of like basically like a robot, like brainwashed, That's what it reminds me of. And you kind of see that a little bit, so you can see that that's certainly going to be, maybe of the first half of the season, or maybe this entire season, that's probably going to be one of the main antagonists that they're obviously working towards trying to take out of power, which we already knew from the last episode, but, again, just the first time we actually saw this person. So the second half of the episode, actually, I thought was pretty cool. A lot of action, the beginning and ending, a ton of it. They wind up getting sent on a mission to take out this character that I guess is a friend of the Prime Minister. He likes to try name dropping the Prime Minister, and he's always luring women to his house, and he beats him and kills him or whatever, just a real scumfuck. And then his 5 elite guards, or his 5 guards. So basically the whole team, the whole Night Raid team, is sent out on a mission. And Tatsumi is still shadowing Mine, and Mine is going to go, and from like a half a mile distance, this is when she explains everything about the Imperial Arm and ancient weapon, all that stuff. She's going to nail this guy. He walks out of his little palace or wherever he's at, and there's a bunch of people surrounding him, innocent people, and she takes the shot anyway, and then boom, I mean, right through the right through the head or through the heart, takes him out. Doesn't seem to hit anybody else, and she proclaims herself as a master sniper. Of course, that's why she could do it and everything else, out of those 5 guards, 4 of them were dispatched very easily, but the rest of the members are like, what the hell? We didn't, there's no 5th one. The 5th one actually winds up going and kind of ambushing Mine and Tatsumi at their rendezvous point, where they go to rendezvous with the rest of Night Raid, and actually kind of gets the drop on him. This guard or whatever was obviously pretty decently skilled, I guess you would say, because he was able to go and like dodge and deflect several dozen shots, it looked like, from Mine's sniper rifle that she calls a pumpkin. So anyway, what I thought was kind of neat, though, is Tatsumi goes and winds up trying to attack him, then goes and just kind of barrels into him and grabs him and picks him up, and he's telling her, take the shot, I trust you. And I like this because this was a moment that, even though it developed very quickly, it was him showing that he trusts her. He trusts her with his life, because if she misses, he's dead, right? He's holding the guy up. So she takes the shot, takes the dude out, huge hole, in his chest, and he talks about, you can't kill friends of the Prime Minister before he falls and dies. And then as she goes over to go and help up Tatsumi, and this is where some of the comedy comes in, she goes to kind of acknowledge that, hey, you're worthy, you did a good job, you risked your life for me, right? You can be part of the team in my eyes now, right? Because she didn't have too high of hopes for him. Anyway, as she goes to pick him up, he goes and slaps her ass, and he goes, yeah, that bullet was a little too close, you're not a master anything. You see his hair is all singed. And they're arguing back and forth, and it's hilarious because he's like, you know what? A master of anything doesn't need to call themselves a master. They just are. They're that good, And she's, no, you're full of shit. I am the master. So an excellent, excellent episode. At the end of it, we get this kind of little sneak peek, I guess you would call it, at what I'm presuming is going to be some kind of immediate villain or antagonist. This character winds up going and cutting a couple people down in the capital city, and then goes and looks at a poster, one of the reward posters of Akame, And then goes and says about how this is a great place to be in the capital. There's plenty of people to kill, and it seems like this is just some kind of sadistic fuck. I picked up on that it was after he saw the Akame poster, so I'm assuming that maybe he's some kind of an assassin. There's some kind of link in his past to maybe Akame and her dark past. I don't know though. Very, very cool stuff, and just a great way to kind of tease you and leave you hanging. And I like how the last couple episodes have kind of put you through the paces with a couple of the different characters from Night Raid. I don't know if the next few episodes are going to progress like that, but I know that initially it's very nice to go and say, hey, we're going to throw a bunch of characters at you, but now we're going to go and take some time, we're going to develop one or two of them here or there, and we're going to do it and actually give some time to them. They had some group stuff at the beginning and the end of the episode, but some of the development in the middle, I thought, between Mine and Tatsumi and some of the relationship building was excellently done. So that's the type of stuff that I enjoy, and certainly very, very cool stuff. So my episode question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is what are your thoughts on the Imperial Arms and what we've seen so far, obviously being these ancient weapons, but just what are your overall thoughts or initial thoughts? You know, obviously if you've read the manga, maybe you know a little bit more, but for me, they really piqued my interest, and I think they're very cool. We've obviously seen Pumpkin, the sniper rifle that Mine possesses, as well as the battle armor and whatnot that it looks like Bulette is able to just call, kind of call to battle whenever he wants. Kind of just put his hand down to the ground, it's like, and all of a sudden it just like he summoned it, So let me know what your thoughts are, though, in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation.
Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next one. Comment and like and subscribe.